The new Hornby Flirt. Does it match up to all the hype? Stay tuned and all will be revealed. Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Piccadilly Model Railways. And yes, a 00 gauge video. They do seem to be few and far between. Andy from Moorland said, when's the next one coming? Well, here it is, Andy, if you're watching this. Now, this train, as you know, has been in service for maybe 2-3 years, maybe by now. And when Hornby announced it, I thought, I've got to have one. I think this is a gorgeous looking train and the livery is literally stunning. I love the way the grey and the white and the red interacts, and with the green as well. It just looks absolutely fantastic and I thought, I've got to get one. Now, before I go any further, this has come from Great Eastern Models in Norwich. And I saw on Facebook they had got an absolute stack of them and even taking them down to the railway station and selling them on a stall, I believe. So I thought that's the place to go and get one. And I don't know whether they've still got any left. If you do want one, maybe give them a call and you can see the number on there as well. But I have to say the service was absolutely magical, brilliant service. I phoned them up on the Tuesday and it was with me on the Wednesday, and they told me that this has to be sent via parcel force because of the weight and the size of the box. So that normally takes an extra day, but it was with me on Wednesday. I can't fault it. Now, the packaging side, I'm not going to go into a massive amount, but it was notable that I had an outer box which had some very stiff foam, i.e. this, and that is just perfect. That's about 20 millimeters thick, and you can see the size of it. And there was a piece on the top of the box and again on the bottom. And then it came in another outer box, which was slightly bigger than this one, and that was then wrapped in bubble wrap. So you can't fault the packaging on this, and so I think it's going to be absolutely perfect. So let's take a look. Now, I do like this style of box now. The old style would have had a flap at one end, but no, this is more modern, and certainly what is coming out from Scale and other manufacturers now. And there it is. So there's obviously a formation guide and the normal thing there. In fact, what we'll do is we'll come back to that later, but let's go straight to this. Now that just lifts off. Now that is fantastic. Now that is quite rigid. There it is. Now, this is the first time I've taken it out of the box, but I have seen Model Loco's video. If you haven't seen that, I suggest you go and have a watch. He goes a lot further than I'm going to in this video, but he did suggest don't touch the windows. Apart from the fact you put fingerprints on them, they are a little bit fragile and they do push in if you're not careful. But look at this. That is just stunning. I mean, I think for a Hornby electric or diesel model, this goes way beyond. I mean, I'm not going to go and get the APT, but this just leaves the APT sitting. It really does. And you've got the coupler at the end next to another train and swivels. Now, if I can get some light in that cab, let's have a look. See, there's a seat in there, quite nicely done. And actually, if we come around this side, you might just be able to make out the detailing on the dash. It's hard to see, it really is, but it's there. There is some like a big sticker running around the front of the dash there, so that is nice. But look at that roof. I mean, that is taken some doing, isn't it? And I'm loving all the fact that these different coloured parts and all these pipes in there and all that inside there is an absolute feast for the eyes. That fan, Now I think this is the part that lifts off, and I think the decoders are below there, I think. So I'm not going to take that off yet. But all of this is just absolutely beautiful. And even down to these pipes, are they moulded or is that separately fitted? It's hard to say, I'm not sure. But they've used this corridor connection type design, I believe, from the coronation coaches. But, I mean, that bogie is just stunning. The underside, well, again, it doesn't stop there, does it? Look at that. That is just incredible, really. So beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The other side, and if we can see inside there as well, you might just be able to make out the seats. I think are amongst the best Hornby seats that I've seen. I mean, obviously the coronation coaches set a new bar, really, but I think these, I mean, if you look at the shape of those seats, they are really nice and narrow, and they do have shape to them. I mean, those seats even have armrests, which stick out, you know. So I don't know whether they're separately fitted as part of the moulding, but that is absolutely incredible. And I don't know whether you can actually make those out from in there, but beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This must be amongst Hornby's best. It's got to be. Apparently this is one unit and they don't come apart, but we'll have a look at this, because apparently these are different from the 4-car. Oh yeah, but again, look at that. Absolutely incredible. And again, you've got this arrangement like you do have on the APT, but the APT is nothing like this, nothing at all. I mean, even those vents look as if they're etched. They are so incredibly fine. I'm not going to touch them just in case I bend them, but absolutely brilliant. Now, on the coupling front, it does look like we've got, it connects to this bar going down the front here, and then it looks, we've got this like peg type arrangement, which then just clips on apparently. Obviously, this takes at least 2 decoders, one in either end here. And I haven't got any 21-pin decoders, but you can also put another third one into this to give an extra boost of sound. And I think Hornby are going to release a mega bass type speaker, which will be compatible with this. So I imagine it will have all the plugs and whistles and all that sort of stuff. You've got this extra bit down here. You've got a bag. I'm not sure quite what they are at the moment, but extra details to fit. And might be just have a quick look at this now. So again, if you want to read it, have a pause. Try to hold it so it's not got the reflection. Yeah, and there it goes. There's your coupling connections there, and you just connect it to that bottom bit, and the middle card connects to the top bit. Looks like the bogies are permanently wired, which is not a problem at all. And you can see there's the extra decoder if you choose to use that. And there's the, what they're calling the DMS cars at the top there. So that plate does come off, which I was saying a little while ago. So we're talking about this part here, no, that part, I think it is. Yeah, the one with the fan on it, that one comes off. In fact, let's have a quick look and see if we can get that off easily. If it, there we go. So there's your blanking plate inside there. And it does imply that that bit there is a stay alive. I'm not sure, capacitor. And obviously, let's put that back on there. That goes round that way, and it is magnets on there, which is really nice. So there's that bit, and lubrication. Have a read of that if you want to. So there is a formation guide, depending on which one you get, whether you get the 3-car or the 4-car. Anyway, let's see if I can get it on the track, and if I can get the layout running with DC, then we can see it running. Okay then, so let's get it on the track. Now, I have removed all the locomotives, so I hopefully can run the layout on DC. And even my little combi controller, i.e. that, you probably just about make it out, might be okay. I don't know. I've just had the peg kit running around. I know it's not exactly the pinnacle of something running quite this complicated, but you never know. It might be all right. And but right, oh yeah, that clicks in nice and positively. Can't argue with that. And then the last car, again, lovely. So let's see. Beautiful. Well, as you can see there, the train is coping very, very well with a second radius curve. And Hornby do recommend a 30-minute running in period of in each direction. Now, as the train went around this curve about there, if you notice the very last connection to the last power car, the corridor connection did pop out as it went round that curve. It probably would be first radius at that point. I don't know, but it would be unfair for me not to point out that that corridor connection did pop out. It was really easy to pop back in, but it doesn't like the really tight corners. There we are, look at that on DC. It's not bad speed for a DC. I don't think I can get it any slower than that though, to be honest. And yeah, it's not, the lights are hardly on, are they, at that end? But that is very impressive. Let's take it up a bit. Oh, look at that. And that's not the fastest. That's 60%. So let's increase the speed a little bit. See it going across the back there. Right, as I bring it in for the last time, I have to say it's a very smooth runner. And, you know, I mean, this is what Hornby should be producing, to be honest. And is at the top of their game. There's no question about that. I did stop that a bit sudden. On DC, remember. But yeah, I can't fault it. It's just an absolutely gorgeous train. Internal lighting, directional lighting. You have the destinations at the other end. It has got a posable pantograph. Right, now to put this pantograph up in this orientation, if you had it the other way around, obviously you have to push towards you, but you take hold of this bit and push gently away from you. There is a little clip underneath, and it's nice and springy as well. So if you have actually got catenary in place with wires, that will follow quite nicely. Now, the clip is kind of down there. It's hard to see it. You might just be able to make it out just at the bottom there. There's, you know, but as I push it back in place, yeah, did you see it make clip in place? It's just about there, if you point with my fingernail. Anyway. And just to take a look at this corridor connection as well, because it's connected directly to the bogie, it actually makes it look more integral to the train. So you haven't got this gap between the carriages that we're all so familiar with. So just to sum up then, this is an absolutely beautiful train. It really is. and I think Hornby have done an absolutely stunning job of it. It runs incredibly well on DC at least, and I'm certain it will be running beautifully with the HM7000 decoders. And it's one of these groundbreaking trains, I think, because the detail on it is just absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, when you look at that roof, you know, they could have just gone for something plain and just molded, but no, they went for a huge number of separately fitted parts, which is an absolute feast for the eye when it goes around. You know, it's got internal lighting, directional lighting, and destinations as well. This particular version says Ipswich at the end there. Can't show you without actually sort of running it as such, but I think the forecast says Norwich. But when you put an HM7000 decoder in here, it breaks the grounds even more, because I think if you saw their video on this, the Hornby video, it actually plays the station stops for you, but it's not just one single play like you would get on many other sound decoders. It actually decreases by one station for every time you stop the train. So you can actually have a run from, say, I think it's London Liverpool Street that they go to, and say to Ipswich, Norwich, or wherever they go, and you know, you can have one station decrease every time you stop, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Would I recommend you get one if this is your style as such? Yes, I really would. It runs beautifully, it looks beautiful, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Now, on a price front, yes, these are £159.99, £160 from the retailers, and I think the 4-car version runs in around about 405, I think, give or take. Now, obviously they don't come cheap, yeah, but it's around about what you would pay for any other train. So is it about on ballpark? Yes, I would say it probably is. This is the way things have gone over the last few years, and I can't see price of new models and groundbreaking models coming down anytime soon. You might run the risk of trying to hold back and see if you can get one later, but I've got a feeling this is going to sell out quite quickly. No, I got mine 2 to 3 days after they started hitting, say, rails of Sheffield, and I saw that Great Eastern had some in stock, so I thought I'd give them a ring, and they gratefully still had some. But I think TMC have just got their batches in, and I think other smaller model shops will start to receive theirs in the next day or so. So you might be lucky if you get it. If you get it within the next few days, you might be lucky to get one. But if you hold off, then you might miss out. And I think this is not going to be one to holding on for any length of time, to be honest. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I think I will leave it there. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you very, very soon here on Piccadilly Model Railways. Take care, and bye for now.